Oh, thank you. All right, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, President.
We're going to call to order regular board meeting and PINCO meeting. Good evening. The June 10th regular board meeting is being recorded. Anyone wishing to observe the meeting may do so via AVUHSD's YouTube channel. Individuals may take photographs or record meetings provided the individual's conduct does not constitute a disruption, including obstructing the view of others. Roll call. Trustee Mann. Here. Trustee Hernandez.
Here.
Trustee Hughes.
Here.
Trustee Vice President Sanchez.
Here.
And I am here, Carla Corona. We are going to close session. Are there any comments from the public on closed session items?
We do not have any comments at this time.
Thank you. The Board of Trustees will go into closed session and reconvene at the regular meeting at 7 p.m. All right, everyone, we're gonna reconvene the regular meeting.
Welcome to the annual Valley Union High School District Board of Trustees meeting. This board meeting is being recorded. Anyone wishing to observe the meeting may do so via AVUHSD's YouTube channel. Individuals may take photographs or record meetings provided the individual's conduct does not constitute a disruption, including obstructing the views of others. Those wishing to address items on the agenda and matters that are not on the agenda but within the jurisdiction of the AVUHSD board shall do so in person, complete a speaker form, and give it to the designee before the public comment portion of the meeting. The speaker form must be given to Ms. Orozco before the board president announces the item. Once the item has been called, we will no longer accept new cards. Ms. Orozco will call the individual's name to come up to the podium to provide their comments. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. A total time for public input on each item shall be limited to 20 minutes. Non-agendized items are limited to a total allotment of 20 minutes. Only one person is permitted to stand at the podium at a time. No speaker may relinquish a time allotment to another speaker. The district encourages members of the public to attend board meetings and to address the board concerning any item on the agenda or within the board's jurisdiction. The board does not prohibit public criticism of its policies, procedures, programs, services, acts, or omissions. Similarly, the board does not prohibit public criticism of district employees. Speakers are cautioned that no person is immune from liability for making intentionally false or defamatory comments simply because those comments are made at a public meeting. Attendees are also reminded of the board's civility policy, Policy 1313. This civility policy requires that members of the district staff will treat parents and other members of the public with respect and expect the same in return. The district is committed to maintaining disruption-free board meetings. The board will not permit any disturbance or willful interruption of its board meetings. Persistent disruption by an individual or group are grounds to terminate the privilege of addressing the board. Persistent disruption by an individual shall be grounds for the board president to terminate the individual's privilege to address the board. The district promotes mutual respect, civility, and orderly conduct among district board members, district employees, parents, and the public. The district seeks public cooperation with this endeavor.
Thank you. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And Mr. Sanchez, can you please lead us?
There you go. Ready? To right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible. Thank you.
Oops. Thank you, Mr. Sanchez. 4A, public comments from the floor for PINCO items. Are there any comments from the public on PINCO items?
No.
The PINCO adoption of the 2025-26 budget. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees adopt the 25-26 budget as presented. Can I have a motion? Can I get a second? Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. C, agreement C 25097 between LACO and PINCO. Business Enhancement Systems Transformation, BEST, Advantage System Budget and Financial Maintenance Service and Support. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve Agreement C 25097 with the Los Angeles County Office of Education for the implementation of the BEST project and further authorize Joe Cook to execute the agreement on behalf of PINCO. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? Seeing none? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. D, purchase order schedule, PINCO. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve and authorize the purchases outlined on the attached schedule. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. 5, we're going to reconvene our regular meeting. 6A, Recognition reports, public comments. A, present local indicator data for the California School Dashboard for Antelope Valley Union High School District. Dr. Grado.
Yes, thank you. So local control indicator data, local indicator data is used in the California School Dashboard to provide a more complete picture of how LEAs are meeting the needs of their students. So tonight we have Dr. Will Laird, our Director of Educational Services, to go over that data if you would like, or to answer any questions for you.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Thank you. Dr. Laird?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
So this is a summary of the local indicator data that we collected in the spring of this year. And so just to reorient you, we have 8 state priorities, and on the dashboard, we have 11 areas that we collect data on. 6 of those are reported to the state. 5 of them are not reported to the state. And so basically we collect local data, local assessment, and then we report that to the dashboard ourselves. And so those would be the 5 categories on this slide. We look at teachers, instructional materials, facilities. We look at implementation of academic standards, parent-family engagement, local climate survey, and then access to a broad course of study. So we do this through a survey that we send out to our site leadership. And then we collect data from that survey, and then we use the data from that survey to inform what we need to include in our LCAP to make sure that we're meeting the needs of our students, our staff, and our community. So priority 1 is the, again, teachers, access to curriculum, materials, safe, clean, and functional school facilities. And the way that these 5 local indicators work is it's either standard met or not met. And the way that the standard is met is by collecting data and perception data and survey data from our school community. So by sending the survey out and getting responses and getting feedback, we've met the standard for each of these 5 areas. And so this is the slide is just a summary of the data that we received based on the surveys that we sent out. So in the area of highly qualified teachers, we have 101 misassigned teachers of English learners and 31 teacher vacancies. And then we go to priority 2, implementation of state academic standards. And this, again, is going to measure several categories. One is the area of professional development. And again, we're basically asking questions and we're getting perception data from our staff on how they believe we're doing in these areas. And so in the area of professional development, you can see each of the different content areas. And then we rank it basically 1 to 5. Instructional materials is the next category. And then moving on to policy and program support. And then implementation of standards. And then engagement of school leadership. And then that moves on to priority 3, which is the parent and family engagement. And again, we have a climate survey that we send out. This section of the local indicators is really us asking our site leadership how they believe we're doing in the area of parent and family engagement. So this is specific to, again, school and site leadership. And so we measure their responses. And so we look at, again, these different categories or these different questions. These are specific questions that come from EdCode. So when you go to the dashboard and you look up local indicators, you'll see all of these same exact categories. And so what they're looking for is, again, whether or not we've collected data by asking these questions and getting feedback. And then that leads us to priority 6, school climate. And this is where we collect our school climate survey data. Now, the school climate survey is a survey that goes out to parents, goes out to staff, to students, and to community members. And so what we do on these slides for you guys is we want you to be able to see the longitudinal data. And so you'll see that it goes from 2018 to 2024, because we want you to be able to see how the results from this year compare to previous years so you can see what those overall trends are. And I know that those are kind of small, but we wanted you to be able to visually see how we're doing in those areas compared to previous years. And then also we wanted you to be able to see the categories. And so the general categories are culture and climate. And so just as an example, you'll see under culture and climate, we're asking the students the question, are you proud of your school? And then to rank that. And then for parents, it's, are you proud of your students' school? And then for employees, am I proud of the school that I work at? So the questions are all worded a little bit different depending on the person that's taking the survey, but it's all basically speaking to that same issue of culture and climate. And then on the category of relationship, we're looking again at whether or not they believe that they have meaningful relationships between students, teachers, and so on. And then the issue of safety, how students, parents, and employees feel about the issue of safety and whether or not they feel safe at school. Then we have intervention support, facilities, how they feel about the facilities themselves, opportunities, whether or not they believe or feel that they have opportunities within their educational experience, specifically in the area of technology, access to technology, and then communication, and then participation in the school itself, again, from a student perspective, parent and employee, expectations, connections. And then I put this slide in there for you guys just to kind of give you an overall summary of what we saw from the data this year. So you can see that. If you have any questions, please feel free to stop me at any point. But this just kind of summarizes the main trends that we saw in this year's survey data compared to previous years. And then that leads us to priority 7, access to a broad course of study. And again, this is going to be specific questions that we're asking school leaders and then getting their feedback on, having to do with the tools and resources that we have when it comes to student access. And again, you can see the summaries there. And again, all of these standards were met through the local indicator survey that we issued.
Great. So I have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
The survey that was taken, how many people overall took it this past year? Yeah, those graphs and charts. So how many people took it?
Are you talking about the local climate survey, or are you talking about the actual local indicator survey?
This right here, what's on
The school climate survey?
Yes.
I do not have the exact number of participants this year, but I can get that for you easily.
Okay, great. If you could, and also per site, because I know last year when we looked, we could tell the different areas that were more participatory versus not. And our hope was that we were going to see an increase this
in
year.
participation.
So I would like to see the
Absolutely.
difference. Great.
Yep.
And then oh, you don't have the pages here. My question, so if you go to the next slide, oh, it's the one about participating in a school activity club or program.
The participation?
Student, bottom left. So
Yes.
I participated in a school-related activity club program of sport. My question, and I don't know if we have an answer, but it actually declined from 2023-24. And I'm just wondering why and where, are we able to pull, I went to Eastside and did not participate versus last year.
Right.
Because I'm just wondering, we have so much investment in sports, activities, clubs, programs, not only monetary, but human capacity. And we should be seeing up versus down. And, strongly disagree. I believe, of course, we always look at the good, but we have to look at the other side of things too.
Absolutely.
So that was just my comment there. And then for the safety slide, can you go to that one?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Just calling it out, 70% of students feeling safe at school. And I'm really hoping that we as the board next year are going to see it really go up.
Yes.
Because we really have put so much intention into making our schools safer places.
Agreed.
And the students thinking schools are clean, 56%. That's unfortunate. And I don't know how to address it, but I think that's over half of took it. But again, if only 25 people took the survey, it's okay, 12 kids have an opinion, but it'll be helpful to know those numbers.
I can tell you it's in the thousands. It does fluctuate from year to year. Like you said, when you start breaking it down by site and then looking at how many participated at one site as opposed to another. But we get well into the thousands every year. So I just don't know the exact number off the top of my head.
Okay. I mean, and we're always looking to improve those numbers,
Absolutely.
get more participation.
Yeah.
And then there was where it said course,
Broad course of study.
yeah, that thing. Yes, that component. Is that the same as the core instructional model, or is that different chart, words to it?
Yeah, core instructional model is more of an instructional strategy. This has to do with access to curriculum and whether or not students have access to different kinds of courses and different kinds of curriculum, and whether or not we're doing a good job of creating as many academic opportunities for students as possible.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Any other questions or anything?
Oh, just on the, if you could clarify, I think there were two climate surveys.
So the local climate survey is a specific survey that we give out every year, and then we're reporting that data as part of the local indicator survey or as part of the local indicator presentation. Everything else in the presentation comes from another survey that we give out specifically to our site leadership. So our site admin, we also ask like department chairs, instructional partners, people who have a broad breadth of knowledge of what we actually do at a school site. So the survey that we put out for the local indicators, we intentionally don't send out to everybody because most employees aren't, they're not fully aware of all the different programs. And so we want the people who are responding to the survey to have some awareness of the different things that are being offered. If that makes sense.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, B, present local indicator data to the dashboard for AAV. Dr. Grado, which
Yes,
is,
so Dr. Laird is still up there for AAB. So take it away, Dr. Laird. Thank you.
if we could, if we've already met, that's great, but can you go to the surveys
Sure.
just to quickly look at those?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's the exact same presentation, same everything. But we do try to pull out data that's specific to AAV when we can. So for the local climate survey, we were able to pull out the AAV sites so that we could look specifically at this data from their perspective. But keep in mind, those sites are much smaller. So there's going to be a smaller number of respondents, which is going to also influence the fluctuation in the scores. So would any
The next
particular one you want me to look at?
No, just go to the next one.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
Yeah, safety, interventions, intervention support. And then we have facilities. And then access to technology. And then we have communication, which is typically pretty high for those sites. And then participation, I will say, just again, as a qualifier, AAV, our virtual academy is the largest percentage of this. And so because they are by definition virtual students who participate virtually, they typically on this particular slide, there's a lot lower numbers because for obvious reasons, they're not as participatory as they would be on an actual brick and mortar type campus.
Is there a way, do all of the questions have to be the same for every?
They do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm just wondering if we could align it more to a virtual world.
Yeah, not only for the long-term longitudinal data, but then also we have to meet certain ed code requirements. And so we have to ask certain questions certain ways.
Well, we'll always keep that as a little
Yeah.
asterisk, it's the virtual.
Yeah.
Great.
I do know that that's something that they've made a point of emphasis of trying to address to try to get kids as engaged as possible, offering, like online ASB and different things where they can try to give more opportunities for their kids to be able to get involved if they would like to. Expectations and then connections. This is the relationship piece. And then it goes into the broad course of study.
Great.
All right. Any
Thank
questions?
you. Any other questions?
Thank you for the
Thank you
presentation.
so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, C, Antelope Valley Schools Transportation Report Update, Mr. Vensko.
Nothing much to report, only that to thank you to all the bus drivers and aides for another successful year. I know it's it's always tough, but I'm glad that we got our students to school on time as much as possible and get them out to their field trips and all that. So thank you to the AVSTA, and that is all I had to report.
Thank you, Mr. Vensko. D, from AVTA, Mr. Millings or his proxy. Is there any report from AVTA? No. E, from CSEA, Karen White. Hello, Mrs. White.
So, good evening. First, let me congratulate the district for another very successful year of graduation at our sites across the valley. It's good to see that they went along without any problems and seem to be very well received. Tonight, of course, I come to you to let you know that we do have on the board agenda the tentative agreement between the district and CSEA that was ratified by our membership on May the 22nd. And we also hope that you will also, take a look at that and agree with it. I know that there's a lot on your agenda tonight, so I won't go into too much more. The only other thing I have to say is I hope that you do have a wonderful summer, maybe a little bit cooler weather. And consequently, for all of those who are here tonight that are fathers, grandfathers, uncles, maybe even dads that are not quite dads, that you all have a wonderful Father's Day. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, F, public comments from the floor for agendized items. Are there any comments from the public on agendized items?
Yes, we have 3.
The public is invited to address the board on any agenda item. To address an item on the agenda, speaker forms must be given to the designee before the board president announces this item. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each, and the total time for public input shall be limited to 20 minutes. Only one person is permitted to stand at the podium at a time. No speaker may relinquish a time allotment to another speaker. During public comments, the board listens to concerns and issues. The board may ask questions for purposes of clarification. The law prohibits the board from entering into a dialogue with the public or taking action on items not on the agenda. First up, Stephanie Robeson on agenda item 8A and D, personnel services action items. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, board
And-
members and cabinet. My name is Stephanie Robison. I'm an internal accounting analyst for the Antelope Valley High School District. I'm speaking tonight on agenda items 8A and D. Specifically, I'm requesting that agenda item 8D, the confidential salary schedule, be pulled from the agenda as I believe there are calculation errors on this schedule. Agenda item 8A, the AB 1200 Public Disclosure of Proposed Collective Bargaining Agreement, page 2 states, the negotiated percentage of change is 0, so a 0% raise. Also, per the AB 1200, the confidential salary schedule has been adjusted to reflect a change to the length of time an employee is on steps 5 through 10 from 5 years to 2 years. I believe what is meant is that all steps beginning with step 5 will be reduced from 5 years to 2 years and additional steps will be added. I was principal secretary at Eastside High School for 15 amazing years. As a longtime confidential employee, I have advocated for shortening the period between step increases down from 5 years. Therefore, I am highly in favor of this change to the confidential salary schedule. However, this salary schedule should be pulled from the board agenda and reviewed as it contains what I believe are calculation errors. Formerly, the 5-year step increases were approximately 5% or 1% per year, which is in line with step increases for classified staff. The new schedule has step increases approximately 5% every 2 years. These steps should be recalculated to increase 2% every 2 years. For example, confidential employees currently on step 11 to 15 will receive an average raise of 9.72% or $600 per month more beginning July 1st. But wait, it gets better. Confidential employees currently on steps 16 through 20 will receive an average raise of 14.98% or $968 more per month. If you're doing the math along with me, this is a salary increase of $11,616 per year. Again, I'd like to point out that the AB 1200 public disclosure on agenda item 8A states a negotiated percentage change of 0. I ask that you pull the confidential salary schedule from agenda item 8D for further review, as it appears to have costly calculation errors. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Couple questions. Hold on one second. I might have a clarification question for you. Ms. Ramos, have you looked at the calculations? Are they in line?
We did. The business department did the salary schedule calculations and there were no adjustments to the cell. It was just the years that someone held in that cell.
And we're confident that we're in all compliance. We don't need a review. We're confident. You're confident in compliance, correct?
Yes, LACO has responded and given us their blessing on the review of AB 1200.
Okay, so we had it reviewed by LACO. Okay, and then clarification. Your CSEA, correct?
Yes,
Represented, and the confidentials, they're not represented, correct?
correct.
So that's kind of apples and oranges.
Not really.
Okay, I'm confused. Can you clarify that?
Confidential is a subset of classified, but they are not represented like you said. However, whatever classified gets, they also get. So they will also be getting a 0% on schedule and a 4.5% off schedule.
So is that something in the contract of CSEA says whatever CSEA gets?
No, there's nothing in the CSEA contract that
So-
says
so
that.
what
That's
legal-
just for practical purposes, that's how it works.
Because that's how we've always done it, correct?
Yes,
Well, I could tell you one thing, one of our models is just because we always done it that way doesn't make it right, correct? So the issue as I have is you're a CSEA arguing against something that they don't have representation. I always want people to be represented, but I understand in those situations, they can't be because the nature of their, and you were confidential, the nature of their business. So
I just want to say I'm in support of the
no, I
two-year
heard that.
steps.
I appreciate that. I just,
It's just the way it's calculated
it-
isn't correct.
I'm just confused just because it's like an AVTA member and a CSCA member. And for years, it's always been same,
Yeah.
but that doesn't make it right. There's nothing in the law or whatever. It's just been the practice that this board appears in this management teams has always done. Doesn't
Yeah,
make it.
No
right.
argument.
So apples and oranges, you would agree with me, correct?
I would not, but I think maybe we're looking at it two different ways.
Okay. Thank you very much for
You're
your
welcome.
input. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Lisa Beal, 6E, CSEA. 6E. Welcome.
Good evening. My name is Lisa Beal and I'm here speaking as a classified employee for myself and many others once again. Last time I spoke, there were questions about whether or not I understand negotiations. The answer is yes, I do. I understand that CSEA was told from the beginning that there is no money. It was also mentioned that if CSEA showed up by the hundreds, the district would have to do something. Our membership shouldn't have to show up by the hundreds for the district to do what is right. After voting tonight, classified staff will get 4.5% off schedule, nothing on schedule, and we are paying for our benefits. We are effectively taking a pay cut. Certificated staff received 6% off schedule, a $1,000 stipend, and an adjustment to their longevity increments. Instead of starting on step 25, they'll now be starting on step 13. This resulted in a number of certificated staff receiving an additional check earlier this year. The buckets are not the same. Classified staff is left feeling less than once again, and seeing all of the salary schedule changes for almost every classification but ours does not help. It appears there's always money to be found when the district wants to find it, but not for everyone. Again, I ask, is it fair? No. Is it equitable? No. Will we lose good employees because of it? Yes. And I would like to second everything that Stephanie Robison just said. Thank you.
Thank you. I actually have a clarifying. Yeah, I'm not sure if I don't know, but let me just say you can still come up. I just need a clarification when
Yeah.
you use the word pay cut.
Yes.
What exactly, and I don't know why would one think it's a pay cut?
Because there was no ongoing salary adjustment and the
Oh.
increased cost of medical insurance, I believe that is what
So it's
what
the
Ms. Beal is.
interpretation of the words.
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
And just as a point of clarification, AVTA also had increased in medical benefits, and because they have a cap on that insurance, that cost was passed on to the teachers.
Thank you.
As
Thank
it
you.
is every year, and that's why they've received so much more in raises on schedule.
But
Thank
I have
you.
a quick clarification.
Yes.
So I'm just going to go back to this.
Yes,
AVTA has a bargaining unit.
Yes.
They have a president and a
Yes.
negotiating team.
yes,
And they come and they negotiate in good faith with
Yes.
our district staff.
yes,
You have a negotiating team for CSEA
yes.
and you sit and negotiate in good faith with our staff.
I
And
would
then,
hope so, yes.
then after that, you guys do tentative agreements.
Yes,
After the tentative agreements, it's sent out to the membership.
yes,
In this case, this year, you guys said no to the initial one. You came
Yes.
back to the bargaining table, came up with another agreement, and then it was ratified by your members.
because they felt very backed into a corner, yes.
I don't get to tell your
Yes.
members how to vote, but your members voted and they
Yes.
voted to ratify it.
Yes,
So now that agreement's up in front of this board to
Yes, it
say
is.
yay or nay.
yes, it is.
Okay, and that's been the process for years.
Yes, it has.
So if there's inequities and all that, it's two different units negotiating for their members. And they don't always negotiate the same stuff, correct? Now, you
They
said you
do.
knew negotiating, right?
They do.
But the
Salary and benefits are always on the table for
But
both
how-
parties.
but how you guys pay for benefits, right? Medical is two different ways, correct? AVTA does it different.
Yes,
than
yes. We
CSEA.
gave up 10% in raises to help cover the cost of our benefits over the years.
So that was at a subsequent negotiation that then your members
Over the
ratified.
negotiations over the years, last time I spoke to it, between 2013 and 14 to now currently, AVTA received 32.35% raises. We received 22.55, I believe were the numbers, which was about 10%. That 10% raises that we sacrificed was to help cover the cost of our insurance.
But
And now we are paying for insurance
my-
with no
my
compensation in
point
return.
is you're two separate unions
Yes, we are.
negotiating two separate contracts
Yes, we are.
for two separate bargaining units
Yes,
that ratify contracts with management. They do TAs and then boards approve those
Yes.
agreements. Okay.
yes. And you've
That's-
stressed over and over how the buckets are the same, and I just wanted to point out that they're not. Thank you.
Thank you. And then last, Stephanie Oberg. On 6E, CSEA. Is that your last name, Oberg? Okay, thank you. Welcome.
Good evening. I don't want to beat a dead horse. The tentative agreement passed. It was ratified by our negotiating team, by our union. I'm not saying it was what we wanted. So now I want to look forward to next year. I ask that the board and the district consider an on-schedule raise for classified staff. It will help with the morale. It will help offset not only the rising costs, but now the health costs that we will be paying. So that is what I came here tonight to speak to. I'm done with this year. This year is done. Let's move forward. So next year, let's really look at what classified is worth and see if we can give them an on-schedule raise. Thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Ramos, I got a question. We basically negotiate when we get cost of living, right? I mean, it's COLAs, right? That's kind of how we determine what we can afford as a district, right? Because we have to balance. We want to make sure our employees are taken care of, but we also have to make sure our budget and make sure we take care of the kids and pay for the lights and all the stuff we do, correct?
There's several factors in addition to COLA that go into determining the district's capacity for salary enhancements. COLA is certainly one of them, but we also look at district enrollment numbers, ADA numbers, and how those impact the district's overall general budget.
I've been sitting on the this board for what, 2.5 years now. I know we've given out raises and I've watched other districts lay off staff. So I just know that watching the money, of course, always grilling our money guys. We're in a really good position. And it's because of the hard work that our finance guys do. And we've been able to give raises when like Hart gave 0. And then we were able to retain our employees when Hart laid off employees. That's true, correct?
That is correct.
All right, so good job. I appreciate you guys. Keep doing that great job because we have to balance it, but we always got to take care of our employees. All right, thank you.
Thank you. G, public comments from the floor for non-agendized items. Are there any comments from the public on non-agendized items? Yes, there is. There's one. The public is invited to address the board on any matter not on the agenda that is within the jurisdiction of the board. To address an item on the agenda, to address the board not on the agenda, speaker forms must be given to the designee before the board president announces this item. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each, and the total time for public input shall be limited to 20 minutes. Only one person is permitted to stand at the podium at a time. No speaker may relinquish a time allotment to another speaker. During public comments, the board listens to concerns and issues. The board may ask questions for purposes of clarification. Law prohibits the board from entering into a dialogue with the public or taking action on items not on the agenda. Karen White stating or on the topic of story of a grant. Welcome again.
Thank you. I'll try to get all the way through this. This is a story of a grant that was secured by Little Rock High School's library tech, Fawn Kimball. And I felt that it was something that the district should also know about because I'm very proud of the situation. She put in for a grant and she received one. I believe the grant was for approximately $2,700. Of that, at the end of the year, she had to put in what she had as far as expectations, what were her goals, and also give some information back to the company that did the grant. And with that, some of her expectations was to increase the average publishing date of our nonfiction section in the library from 1997 to at least get it to 2001. She did even better than that. She got it up to 2003. Her other goal was to increase the circulation for the students checking out books by 10%. She, again, was an overachiever. That rate for checking out books went up to 76%. So 1,716 books that were checked out last year turned into 3,028 books for this year so far. With that, she also had to give them some type of a situation or a little thing that happened that dealt with the students. Besides what she already does, she wrote this in response to that portion. Nathan, a sophomore who struggles in reading comprehension and interest, would always scan the shelves of our library when he was there with his English classes, but never found anything that interested him. He is a busy, hardworking young man who just gets through the school day so he can work on cars, learn carpentry, or other things to do with his hands and with his cousins. He didn't really see the point in reading or books. After we got our first shipment of the new nonfiction books in, I pulled him aside to show him the auto repair, household DIY, and history of cars, and a memoir by a man who builds cars. Nathan lit up. He could not reach for his ID fast enough in order to check the books out. For the next several months, every time Nathan's class came in, he comes up to the desk to tell me about what he has learned in the past 2 weeks from the books. He is engaged, excited, and has even started talking about the potential of going to our local community college after he graduates so he can learn more. He says his dad was always telling him he needs to go to graduate high school and then go to look into college or other certification programs, but he never saw the point there before. Now he craves more knowledge and training and is confident that he can make something grow. New nonfiction books are targeted his interest, changed his opinion about reading and education, giving him increased excitement and joy, as well as discipline academically and practically. His entire attitude in the library has changed into that of an engaged young man eager to learn. He has even gotten several of his friends to come chat with me about finding books that fit their interests as well. And for that, I applaud her efforts and being able to secure that type of connection with our students. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a wonderful
Mi-
story.
Ms. White, can you give her our acknowledgement as well? Excuse me, I'm tired. Appreciation as well. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, 7. There we go. 7A, review proposed revisions to BP 5131.8, AR 5131.8. First read and discussion. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees review the proposed revisions to the board policies and administrative regulations as presented. All right, board, this is regarding the mobile devices policy. It is a first read and discussion, so would anybody like to go first? Because you know I have a list of thoughts. Okay, maybe I'll cover some of the things. We need to discuss, I believe, the statement in there where it says turned off and put away. It's page 170 in the agenda. Does everyone have a copy of the policy in front of them?
Yeah.
Is the policy going to be in the thin one? Or just in the big thick ones?
I think it's the big, thick one.
Okay.
This one?
Yes, both. This was page 168 on the electronic. I have my notes, but I'll just get it. I'll wait until Mr. Hughes and Ms. Hernandez comes back. Yes. 7A. So.
Was it the policy or the reg?
So I put page 170 on the electronic version, and I don't know which one it is because I don't have it in front of me. Is the pages on there 170?
It is 170 currently.
Okay, so this is the policy. There's a point in there where it's saying turned off and put away. Self over to share this because I have my own personal notes, but I need to see the policy as well.
Oh, she needs to see the policy.
I'm gonna scoot over and share mics. Yeah, you can over here. So can we discuss this? Turned off and put away. What are? I don't think so.
No,
'Cause
no,
it's
it's
discussion.
It's the discussion.
Okay.
We don't need to do a motion for anything.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're just discussing, but this is our one time to discuss, and we have had our ICC.
Hold my beer.
We've had ICC students representing here twice during work study to talk about this. We had a presentation of the process of getting us to a new and revised policy and regulation. So now it's our turn to talk. Does anyone have any thoughts about the turned off and put away? I know that this is going to be really hard because we live in such a smartphone technologically dependent society. But the turned off and put away is just something to consider. I'll just keep moving along and then we can come up with something. So also on page 170, it's talking about a learning activity. And I feel that we need to be more definitive of what a learning activity is, because I could be learning walking down the street because I'm, whatever. Learning can happen all the time and everywhere. So I would think we could talk about a definition of a learning activity. Also, there's words in here. It is recommended that teachers utilize technology devices provided by the AVUHSD district for instruction. So recommended is the word I'm curious about. Why recommended, not required? And this is going to be something that has to impact not just the students, but the staff as well. Meaning we're going to have our teachers, our principals, I mean, us, I'd imagine, no more cell phones. Is that what we're saying? Also, page 171, what is considered a break? Is that is like the passing period considered a break, or is it this is break? It is.
Passing period snack
Would be termed as a break. Breaks from instruction. So we may want to articulate that just to be so clear. What is any applicable?
I'd like to make a motion just to table this because I don't want to do this huge discussion. I'd like to make a motion to table this discussion, and Madam President, maybe we could have another work session to where we can fully, a special meeting where we can fully discuss this and tweak this policy a little bit. That'd be my recommendation. I make a motion to table it. Got a second?
All right, majority rules. We're gonna.
We gotta take a vote.
Oh, to table it for
Yes.
later.
Don't need to table this. It's the first read discussion.
So we'll just move on.
There's nothing on the table. at this
Okay,
point.
we'll just move on and we'll talk about it more later.
But I would.
Madam President, just a point of clarification for you and the board. I think it's important to remember that this is a draft model policy from CSBA, that this was crafted from CSBA, and the board always has the opportunity to revise it, lack of a better term, tweak it as they see fit. So this wasn't something that was drafted internally by staff, but this is the model policy that CSBA sent out to all districts.
Right, because with the regulation, because it would be the policy and the regulation, because that's more localized. It's very, so we'll go ahead and just move on from that.
I would just request that you do a special meeting on this.
Well, a special meeting will be coming. Don't worry
Okay, perfect.
about other things.
Thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome. All right, so we're gonna move on to 7B.
But Madam President, I bet Mr. Nian, we should try to do this as soon as possible due to the fact that we need to have this implemented, put out to our people and
August.
yeah, so that we can make everybody aware of the policy that's been implemented. You're okay. Thank you.
But everybody
But
can
yeah,
get a
we'll take
printout.
that.
Yeah. Rachel, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No. Yes, so we'll have to, the board, please, we'll be needing you to clear your schedules.
Yeah, so yeah.
So that would be for the policy as well as the regulation. We're gonna move to 7B, Art 1, ethnic cultures. First read and discussion. All of my questions are about which ethnic study standards do all of the units align with. I had some questions about semester 2, page 185, the unit 4, advocacy and artivism. There's some duplication. The textbook chosen, the textbook itself does not provide any inquiry of ethnic cultures because it is a elements and principle of design textbook, but there's specific ethnic culture material. However, it's only online magazines and podcasts. And if we're trying to really hone in on electronics, I'm just curious if there's something else out there. So those are just my thoughts, board. I don't know if anyone else had any things about the curriculum. Okay. 7C, internship readiness. It is recommended that we review it. So my thoughts, questions, Mr. Nehan, can we get a current list of the internships provided from the already approved curriculum the companies, the positions, and the locations. On the curriculum, it only mentions a couple of schools. But again, I understand that once a curriculum is approved, it's all district. However, when we have it in writing that it's, Palmdale or whatnot, we will get tunnel vision. So as long as we're all very clear and aware it's for all sites, if as we move forward, there's some, I really would hope that the internship curriculum adds, I'm calling it this, handshake 101 to the course somewhere. Our kids do not know how to shake hands. Where do the CTE AME pathway standards reflect each of those four pathways of the AME? Is there a textbook newer than 2019? It's just a question. That's what I had to add. And there's a couple of other more the minutia, but I can go through that later. Any other thoughts? Discussion? All right. Let's move on to 7D. Review curriculum guide, robotics and engineering honors. It is recommended that we review it. The one place it's called robotics and engineering honors, and another place the course is called robotics and electrical engineering honors. So just decide what it is and make it consistent. And then another question is, what is our anticipated enrollment per site for this honors class? So those were just some of the questions. To be honest, I was reading this and I was like, wow, if only I understood all the jargon. It's just not my strong suit. However, I just kind of looked at structure or format. Any other thoughts? Okay. E, adoption of 2025 LCAP for the AVUHSD. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees adopt the 2025-26 LCAP for AVUHSD. Can I have a motion? Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Does anyone need any further discussion from the last week? All right, I don't have anything. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. F, adoption of 25-26 LCAP for the academies of the Antelope Valley. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees adopt the 25-26 LCAP for AAV. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Anything additional needed from last week? Nope. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. All right, we're gonna move to 8 personnel services action items. A, open, conduct, and close public hearing. AB 1200, cost disclosure on bargaining units. Classified CSEA, unrepresented classified management confidential and certificated management. The board will open the public hearing at 8:24. Are there any comments from the staff or the board? Ms. Ramos?
Yes, this evening you have before you the AB 1200 for several of our labor groups. That agreement reflects a 4.5% one-time off-schedule payment for CSEA and for classified management, as well as the confidential employees. Additionally, there are restructures of the salary schedules for those groups, in addition to certificated management.
Thank you. Anyone else? Board? All right, and then are there any public comments from the public? We did hear on 8A. Oh, do we have any more?
Don't have any additional speaker
Okay.
cards.
Just because that was the agenda item they spoke on.
But they still have.
Yeah. Anybody else?
That's me.
Do they need to put a card? No, right? Because it's open.
This is.
Come on up. Welcome again.
So I just wanted to reiterate, the AB 1200 that you're looking at says 0% raises. Classified or confidential is included on this. If there is a raise on the confidential salary schedule, as I pointed out, wouldn't that mean that this AB 1200 is incorrect? That's all I want to say. I want to point that out. It says no raises, yet the confidential salary schedule has a raise on it. Just want to point that out.
Anybody else?
Anybody else? Go ahead. Can you clarify?
Yeah, absolutely.
Need
So
clarification. I'm confused.
yeah, not a problem. So on page 1 and 2, under the columns of year 1 and year 2, there do show some additional changes in the salary. So on the salary schedule, there are, on page 2, for example, has 3,600 for year 1 and 468,200. And then in the subsequent pages, it explains what those dollar amounts are. And again, as I mentioned before, LACO has reviewed this and given their blessing. So thank you.
That was all the clarify. I just wanted it. LACO said, it. Okay. All right. Any other comments from the public? All right, we're gonna close the hearing at 8:27 p.m. B, adoption of agreement with the California Schools Employees Association, CSEA. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the proposed terms of the collective bargaining tentative agreement reached between the district and the CSEA. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? Seeing none? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. C, adoption of agreement with classified management unrepresented. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the proposed terms of the CBA reached between the district and classified management unrepresented as presented. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. D, 2025-26 classified management and confidential salary schedules. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the 25-26 classified management and confidential salary schedule as presented. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. E, adoption of agreement with cabinet and certificated management. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the proposed terms of the CBA reached between the district and cabinet and certificated management. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? No discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Seeing none, motion passes. F. I'm on F, right? Thank you. 2025-26 certificated management and cabinet salary schedules. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the 25-26 certificated management and cabinet salary schedule as presented. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. G, approve amendment to employment agreement for superintendent. I have the paper here somewhere. Please hold. Thank you, Mr. Hughes. I knew I had it somewhere.
I've hidden it.
And read it. Before
That would work.
Before taking final action on an employment agreement for a local agency executive or salary or benefit increase for a current local agency executive, the board must state in public session pursuant to Government Code Section 54953, Subdivision C3, the board provides this oral summary of the salary and or fringe benefit increase recommendation for the following local agency executives. Superintendent, the amended employment contract between the district and the superintendent, Greg Nian. The new salary to be paid to the executive, $346,752. Once the compensation summary is completed for each affected executive, the board can take final action in open session to approve the compensation contract. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the contract amendment for Superintendent Greg Nehan. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Thank you for all the great work. There's so much more to do, and we
And now we're going to hold you even more accountable.
even more accountable. But really, thank you. Gratitude is coming. Having
We
a
haven't
motion,
voted yet.
having a motion in a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposition. The motion passes. Business service 9, business services action items. It is A, adoption of 25-26 budget. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees adopt the 25-26 budget as presented. Can I get a motion?
Motion?
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Any further discussion from our presentation on Friday? Oh, I have my notes. I think I did have a question just about budget and where to find the exact sped budget. How much do we get? You don't need to answer these right now because I know they're here. But what is the sped budget? How much do we get from the state? And what are we doing to make sure we help the budget, knowing that our increase of sped students is on the rise, just based on my presentation? So something to consider. I don't know if you could speak a little bit to that.
Yeah, I don't know the exact number, but I know it was about $20 million that we received from both the state and the Fed, and about $80 million was the overall sped budget. So those rough numbers, but the exact, but that's about where we were at.
Okay, so I think that's something for us to consider as we move, because we see that the increase,
Yeah.
and we're the third largest in all of LA County.
Correct.
Which is astronomical, and so we need to make sure our students are served, be fiscally responsible, quality over quantity, all of these things that I know we're thinking about, but just wanted to say it.
Yep, absolutely. We have that, and we've taken that into consideration in the multi-year projection as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right. We have a motion. We just, okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. B, approve resolution number 2024-2537, establishment of an independent citizens bond oversight committee to monitor the measure AVH bond programs, approving the bylaws and appointed members of said committee. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve resolution number 2024-2537, establishment of an independent citizens bond oversight committee to monitor the measure AVH bond programs, approving the bylaws and appointed members of said committee. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Nian, can you relay where we have, it's 7 people, and we have 4 in place or 5 in?
Correct. We currently have, with approval of this, we'll have 4 in place,
Okay.
and we'll continue searching for the additional 3.
Thank you. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposition. Motion passes. C, adopt resolution number 2024-2538, temporary loan transfer between district funds fiscal year 25-26. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees adopt resolution number 2024-2538, authorizing temporary loan transfers between district funds for the fiscal year 25-26. May I get a motion?
Motion.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. D, adopt number 2024-2539, resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Antelope Valley Union High School District regarding committed fund balance. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees adopt resolution number 2024-2539 to commit funds for the prescribed purposes. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. E. Did I just do that one? Okay, E. I did D.
You're on.
E, adopt resolution number 2024-2540, approval of the Education Protection Account, EPA, spending determination for fiscal year 25-26. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees adopt resolution number 2024-2540 regarding the EPA spending determination for fiscal year 2025-26. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second? Any discussion? No discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. F, adopt resolution number 2024-2541, interfund transfer of funds fiscal year 25-26. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees adopt resolution number 2024-2541, authorizing interfund transfer of funds for the fiscal year 25-26 as presented. May I get a motion?
Motion.
Second? All those, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. G, approval of resolution 2024-2544, withdrawing from CISC property and liability JPA and enrolling in Southern California Relief Property and Liability JPA and appointing AVUHSD's representatives. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees adopt resolution 2024-2544 as presented. May I get a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Can you please inform us a little bit of the choice and the cost savings that we will have with this?
I'll defer to Mr. Vensko.
Mr. Vensko.
So as part of the board policy, it is the district's job to review their property and liability insurance carriers. And so we have done that. We reviewed 3 different carriers. Our current carrier, or for 24-25 CISC, we reviewed Southern California Relief and CSRM, which are all basically JPAs that do property and liability. We initially started with myself and my team as the review, and then brought Cabinet into the review of the overall program. And Southern California Relief came in at one of the best price, but also the best services offered for our district.
Thank you. All right.
Pay money.
Yep, we did.
Yes, about $750,000.
Any other discussion points? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. H, agreement with County of Los Angeles Department of Agricultural Commissioner, Weights and Measures. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the attached proposal for the County of LA Department of Agricultural Commissioner, Weights and Measures, and authorize the Assistant Superintendent or their designee to execute the contract on behalf of the district. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Is this the one about the pests?
Yes.
Bye-bye pests, hopefully.
Well,
We'll see.
it's the birds.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. I, approval of award of RFP number 32425 for program management services for the Antelope Valley Union High School District Measure AVH Bond Program. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees award RFP 32425 to Fonder Solari and authorize the superintendent or designee to execute the contract on behalf of the district. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? We are moving on the bond. That's all I'm saying. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. That was aye. All right, 10,
Now the real work.
administrative services. A, adopt resolution number 2024-2545, board member absence. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees adopt resolution 2024-2545, board member absence, which would allow board member Miguel Sanchez to be compensated for his absence from the board meeting held on May 29, 2025. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Gonna excuse myself on this one.
No,
You gotta wait till the second.
Okay.
Second?
Okay.
Any discussion?
Yeah, let's, I have some
Can I-
discussion. Hold on, is this where you left her
This is
hanging?
payback.
This is like when you left her hanging?
no.
So that was-
Downy.
Oh,
I
that was
was
the other
rookie.
one?
Oh, man.
Okay, I'm done with my discussions.
Mr. Sanchez, can you please repeat what you said earlier? That you're going to excuse yourself? Is that what you
Yes, I
said?
need to excuse
He'll
myself.
recuse himself on the
Thank you.
vote.
Yeah.
All right,
He get-
so we discussed, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Hughes is uncertain.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so passes by 4 and abstention. B, adopt resolution number 2024-2546, increase board member compensation. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees adopt resolution number 2024-2546 to increase board member compensation effective July 1, 2025. And I would like to make that motion, if I can, Mr. Jabari Willis.
You can.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? So go ahead, Mr. Hughes.
Go ahead, Madam President.
I just wanted to mention that the compensation for board members here.
$150,000 a year is a lot.
Yeah, I wish. No, it has not increased for 3 years. It is a 5% maximum. We are in our right to review it. And the increase for each of us is $24.31 times 5 is $121.55 monthly for the board of an increase. And it would be $14.58 a year. So it $24. It's a couple drinks at Starbucks. But I hope the board understands the value of the work we do here, and we are worth $24 more than we are getting now.
Now, Madam President, I was really gonna probably, not support this resolution due to the fact, however, because Mr. Venska over there saved us $750,000, I think we can afford to your couple Starbucks. Because I know I laugh because I know you put a lot of work in as president. So I'll go ahead and support your motion on that.
Any
When we
other
get a chance to
thoughts,
vote.
board members?
Because you know how this is. They're going to write in the paper that we make $150,000 and
No, people, we do not.
LA County, sorry.
how much are we making? 400 just for
$86
$186
months.
I think if we average and that's to about 20 hours, which I know we dedicate more than 20 hours, it's about $1.20. per
Yeah,
hour.
I just wanted to get that out there.
We're below minimum wage. Let's just say that.
But I know that we all 5 work really hard at this. So
But it's just when you're voting on your own raises, it's always hard to do
Yeah.
in a sense. But even though it's such a de minimis amount of money, I think he deserves a couple Starbucks. So
yes.
I think
And just for clarification with our attorney, our great attorney, Mr. Willis, we are in our right to talk about this and give ourselves a little boost.
Yes, you are. And of course, in
that
the
just cost us
spirit
$50
spirit
right
of
there.
transparency, you are having the conversation here in open session. So.
Yes. Thank you. That's just. All right. So I think we're ready to take a vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Seeing none, unanimously passes for our $24.31 a month. Thank you.
Starbucks.
All right, we are going to consent agenda, but before Mr. Nehan, we need to. So there's 2 categories. I want pull to discuss and pull completely.
Okay,
Which ones do you want
Let's
first?
pull the one completely first.
Okay, so we're gonna pull agenda 12B, AP African American Studies. We're pulling agenda 12I, ISTE and ASCD memberships. We're pulling agenda 12J, Mark White Learning LLC in math instruction. We are pulling, so that's to pull, and we will readdress those.
Okay, so we're pulling these off completely.
Yes, we're not,
Okay.
yes. But now the pull to discuss. So I have to do a motion first to pull to discuss. Okay, can I get a second?
No, pull.
You'll make a motion on the consent agenda, then you can discuss, because you only want to discuss, not discussing.
Oh, what? I got,
You only want it for discussion.
You are just want to identify the ones that you want to discuss.
yes, because I've
That's
omitted the
that's
ones. Okay, so
Those-
yes.
Yeah, those are no longer a
Okay,
part of,
but don't I have to tell you which ones I want to
yes,
discuss?
the ones that you want to discuss, you can go ahead and identify.
No, it's just to discuss. PTD, pull to discuss. So I want to pull to discuss agenda 12E, the school plans for student achievement. I want to pull to discuss 13B, urban scholars, pull to discuss 15A donations, pull to discuss 15F school specialty, and pull to discuss the bus wraps for AVUHSD.
What's the number for?
15I, sorry. 15F and 15I.
Oh, 15, okay.
15.
I'll make the motion.
Can I get a second? Mr. Hughes made the motion.
The second.
Okay, discussion. So we're gonna save 12E for the last because we're gonna go out of order. 13B, this is about the urban scholars. And I just wanted to discuss, we know this program works. I'm just curious, why did we amend it from Little Rock to Highland High School? If you can offer any insight.
Absolutely. So, as you're aware, the success of this program, depends on a number of factors, including finding a teacher who is willing to teach the course, as well as successful recruitment, for the course in terms of filling the course with students. As we meet on a regular basis, with all of the campuses and assessing fidelity of the program, we have found that enrollment was low at Little Rock over the past, few years, as well as needing to find a new teacher to teach the course. Unfortunately, the site administration was not able to find a teacher, to teach the course. And so a number of schools have expressed interest in wanting to, as we expand, for the course to be, on their campuses, and Highland was next in line. It does not mean that the course will not go back to Little Rock. It's just once a teacher is identified, to teach the course, as we continue to expand, the course will go back there before it moves to another school.
Okay, it would be great to get ongoing updates of the search for the teacher, because my thought here is we're removing, and are we putting something else as a substitute to help this demographic? So, just something to consider.
Yes, absolutely. And we have been, over the past 3 years since the course has been at Little Rock, have been actively in assisting the school with, identifying a teacher as well.
Excellent. Thank you. And then we're discussing 15A donations. Again, I just want to honor and acknowledge and give gratitude to all of our donors for our district. Thank you. Agenda 15F, the school specialty. I recognize there's no budget implication, but what are they providing? What is it? There's no work scope. There's nothing in there. So I have no idea what I'm voting on.
Yeah.
To Mr. Lesko.
Actually, it's the art department and what they call it professional development, but school specialty will come in and let them try out different products, and then they get to keep those products actually afterward for their art classrooms.
Supplies. So they're supplies.
So their supplies for, with Miss Rivas and others.
So visual arts focused.
Yes.
Is it going to take out of teaching time?
No, I believe it's this summer.
Oh, it's this summer. Okay. How do we find them, and why do they want to work with us?
They're constantly looking to basically advertise and get their products out and about.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right. And then a 15I, the bus wraps for AVUHSD. So that's $150,000. And my question is, how are we monitoring success with this strategy? And so monitoring, but also what does success look like with this expense? So can you talk to?
So around town, they will provide us metrics, and it's how was this seen? What were the views? I don't know that we'll get a direct correlation to attendance at events, or things like that, but part of the agreement is around town provides views. Basically views of miles traveled of the bus, of each bus with each label on it.
Is there a way, because I've seen the buses go around, is there a way to get stats from this past year?
If they're available now.
I just feel like it's a lot of money, and
Advertising usually is though.
no, I mean, I know advertising is, but is it working?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So question, yeah. We just need to make sure we're monitoring.
Yes.
That, and then if you could get us that info, that would be great. Yes, okay. Discussing, all right, everybody, right here, my friends. School Plan for Student Achievement, SPSA. So we I did want to say this in open session that we have a lot of work to do with these plans. I have several concerns and questions that I want to provide the board a longer opportunity to go through these and dig through the weeds, if you will. We got to really uncover and look at the core of each of these plans. You know, from AP tests taken to, you know, professional development, chronic absenteeism. I haven't seen any arts integration mentioned in here. Just different strategies, how it's aligning with the strategic plan, our numbers, our math numbers, our dashboard, of course, aligns, the LCAP aligns, but the strategic plan, in my opinion, needs to be at least mentioned. So I would like us to, I just wanted to openly say this, that we will go.
I need to recuse myself then. Discussion on the
Oh, the AVUH, I mean, the bus wraps?
Do I have to be? I got a donation. Do I have to leave the room on that discussion?
That's the left.
Discussion's over, but for the vote.
Yeah, you would not participate in the vote.
So we'll just vote on that separately then.
Yes.
Yes, so you have to pull that item.
Discussion. Okay.
That is 15I.
What was I saying? I was saying, that's okay.
Measuring
Oh, right, thank you. Measuring
results.
Scores, AP, investments, how much we gotta really dig. So what I'm saying is I want our board to be able to have a deep dive conversation, the real, the good, the bad, the ugly, as they like to say, at a special meeting. So Mr. Nehan, I would like us to have a special meeting, and I want it to be before school starts so that I am assured that we get to this.
Your calendar.
Yes. So, but just know that's the reason I did not completely take it off.
Absolutely, and I appreciate that. We can talk about the details on Monday. It's important that the key staff and the 5 board members are all in the same room for these conversations. So you and I'll have to find some dates and then we can get that going. And
Great.
we can do a special meeting with 24 hours notice. But we do want to give staff time to prepare for questions, anticipate questions, things like that.
And this may be two. We may have an intro conversation and then a comeback.
Yep.
But also just so everyone knows that this is a fluid living document, which is why I was more open to, okay, let's talk about it. Let's live it. But you know, so please, everybody, take this on your vacations with you and read it.
Yay.
Even more than you already have. And then what was the other, where's my other paper?
Oops.
I think those were all the ones that I had pulled. So we need to vote on everything with the except.
He has
You have to leave the room
He has to leave the room.
to vote?
I'd like that whole item pulled. I'll leave the room, then you guys can do motion, second, discussion.
Just on that one item.
Okay, so that's for 5th.
So go ahead and vote on it, stay. You can vote on everything but that, and then you can recuse yourself, Mr. Hughes.
We're gonna vote on everything but that.
And to be clear, that is 15I.
15I is that.
And just for full disclosure, it's due to the fact I got a campaign donation from that company.
Thank you, Mr. Hughes, for your honesty and transparency. All right, let's go ahead and take a vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, those passed. We will give Mr. Hughes 30 seconds to exit the room. All right, any other discussion on the bus wraps? No, okay, so let's go ahead and vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passes with 0 with abstention. Okay,
Hold on. Because you're doing a separate motion for that item. You need to make a motion for 15I.
we do. Okay, stay back. Oh, I thought that was him. I heard something. Okay, we need to, can I get a motion for 15I to vote on 15I?
Motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Do I need to repeat what I said earlier?
Yes.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes the 15I. Correct? All
That
right.
is correct.
All right.
Now Mr. Hughes can come back.
Miss, yeah, whoever, yes, please. All right, so we are moving
On to 16, no?
16, nope, 17. All right, gosh, with a lot. All right, 17. From the board superintendent, from the board superintendent, Mr. Nehan.
So I want to start by thanking the board, say thank you for your support, your partnership, and your leadership, as just evidenced by the conversation on SPSAs. We have a lot of work to do, and knowing that we have the ability to do it together, looking at progressing forward, celebrating our successes, and identifying our gaps is important. So I look forward to continuing to work with all of you. Thank you. And then I also want to say thank you to the business staff, to Trixie, to Kevin, and everybody who works to support you for getting the budget done. And Trixie got it done early this year, which is awesome. And then to Dr. Grado, Dr. Slater-Sanchez, Dr. Laird, and everybody who works to support the LCAP. The LCAP is a huge lift, much like the budget. It's not a single event. It goes on throughout the year. So thank you guys all for your hard work in preparing us for next school year. And school's out for summer. Have a great summer, everybody.
But we still have meetings.
We still have meetings. It's not out for.
That was not for you, Mr. Nehan. Do not have a great summer. Not kidding. All right. Rosemary, trustee Mann.
I would just like to thank everybody for all your hard work this school year. Thank you for making my first school year a real exciting one. I can't wait till 25, 26 and push forward. We have a lot of work to do and we have to show a lot of results for all the money that we're spending. So thank you very much. And with that, I say good night.
Thank you. Mr. Hughes, trustee Hughes. Trustee Hughes, you're next, please.
Yes, Madam President.
Unless you want to yield it to. trustee
I
Hernandez.
will go ahead and follow Madam President's instructions as we were supposed to. Thank you, everybody, for everything, all the hard work that you've done. I'm just going to say it again. I can't say what we discussed in closed session, but I am part of an amazing board, a very strong, tough, I won't even say opinionated, but I'm working with 5 or 4 other people up here that are just truly amazing, and all they care about is the kids, the staff, and robust discussions on the future. So I'm excited about to see what we can do with this district. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hughes. Trustee Hernandez.
Just want to say that I am excited to continue learning from the best and the support from the cabinet, and just excited to continue learning from the teachers and our staff to better serve the kids. And so I just want to thank everyone for your time and your patience, and for answering all my questions and just clarifying all the doubts we have. It's a little overwhelming at times. This is just one. I think there's a different one. So
There's 4 of those.
yeah, there's 4 of these. So just grateful for everyone's support and patience when it comes to clarifying things for us. We really trust your judgment. We really trust your feedback, because as you can imagine, you guys are our frontliners. So I'm grateful for that. And because of that trust that we're entrusting on you, we have high expectations. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Sanchez.
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you for the A team over there. Wish everybody was here though, but As the cabinet, same thing. Looking for another year. And let's close up the gaps like Greg was saying. Improve. That's all we could do. Just improve. Thank you.
Thank you. I will start with, I understand that the district is planning to partner with the city of Lancaster in building an aquatic center. I would ask that at our July board meeting, a resolution is brought forth and to solidify our intent to partner in this facility, and that it should be named the Marvin E. Christ Aquatic Center. I would also like to propose that the main pool within the facility be named after Mr. Walter Bedillo. Mr. Bedillo was a swim coach at Palmdale High School from 1974 to 1992. He influenced and mentored several former and current and AVUHSD Golden League coaches, teachers and administrators, as well as a plethora of contributing members of our valley. Coach Walter Bedillo's swimming pool would be a proper honor for him. Oh, yes, please, Mr. Hughes.
And Mr. Nean, can we reach out to the family too? I understand that he passed this January. Too bad we just couldn't get this done a little bit quicker, but if we could extend, I believe he has a wife and a daughter.
I'll work with staff to locate and notify.
Yeah, I also understood he had an amazing son that passed about a year prior to his dad, that great athlete. I don't know all the stories, but yeah, we could have the family here. That would be huge.
Thank you. And then I would just like to say thank you, everybody, for all of your diligence and all of the work. I know I am have a keen sense of detail, but I take that as a strength, and I want to use that strength as a resource to this district to help our kids, our staff, our teachers, everyone that is involved in the AVUHSD. So some may say that is a weakness, but I look at it as a strength. And I just really look forward to our special meetings. I really look forward to digging. And I cannot wait to get through this because we have a lot to do. So thank you and have a great summer. I am going to try to have a great summer. All right, let's go to 18 closed session. So 18D. During closed session, the board considered the employee appointment title assistant principal. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to approve the appointment of Nicole Williford to assistant principal. Item 18E. During closed session, the board considered the employee appointment title vice principal. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to approve the appointment of Joe Carnovali to vice principal. 2, by a vote of 5-0, the board took action to approve the appointment of Darcy McQueenie. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to approve the appointment of Ashley Singh to vice principal. 18F. During closed session, the board considered the employee appointment title Coordinator of Student Support Services. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to approve the appointment of Maria Scales. Is that a T or no?
Skates. It's Marina Skates.
Oh.
It's my writing. It's not.
I am so sorry if you're listening. Marina Skates.
Congratulations.
But congratulations. 18G. May I please have a motion to approve administrative hearing panel recommendations for student expulsions and to order as presented the expulsions of 3 students?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. Item H, I will be reading together H through K. The board considered requests to waive healthful living for AVUHS student 2025-26008, last digits 009, last digits 010, last digits 011. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to approve the request. 18L. During the closed session, the board considered the claim number 2504-24001. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to reject the claim. Item 18M, during closed session, the board considered claim number 2505-14001. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to reject the claim. Item 18N, during the closed session, the board considered claim number 2505-14002. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to reject the claim. Item 18O, during the closed session, the board considered one case of anticipated litigation. By a vote of 5-0, the board took action to approve settlement agreement with employee number 6, or is that a 0?
That's a 6. I can read the whole number if you like.
68826.
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay. All right, that's it. Can I get a motion to say goodnight?
Motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Do you want to discuss it? It's actually early. We did so much in 3 hours and 3 minutes, 7 minutes. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. See you next time.